What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today we are here at Atlanta Classic Cars Mercedes-Benz to take a look at an all-new submission into the Mercedes-Benz lineup. This is the 2020 GLB 250. It is finished here in polar white, and if you take a look at it, it might remind you of the GLK that got replaced a few years ago. So where does the GLB exactly fit in the Mercedes-Benz lineup? Think of it as a crossover SUV that slides in that narrow void between the GLA and GLC. So today we're going to take a look at the exterior and interior details of this vehicle and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. But before we get started, if you find yourself interested in this vehicle as we review it, please be sure to reach out to my friend Jesse Cannon-Wallace here at Atlanta Classic Cars. Let's go ahead and get to it. Taking a look at the front of the GLB, specifically the hood, you'll notice you have dual power bulges, kind of adding to the design characteristics of the front of the vehicle. Now, if you come over towards the headlamps, you'll notice they feature a squared off design, which fits well with the theme of the overall car's design. And you're also getting Mercedes-Benz LED headlamp technology, which is nice of a car that has a $36,600 price point. If you take a look at the grille, you have the double lamella design. This is a non-AMG Sport Package vehicle. Had it had the Sport Package, you would have just had a single bar going across here. And of course, coming lower, you have some fog lamps and then some chrome accents as well. Checking out the side profile, if you just step back and look at this vehicle, it can't be denied that this all-new GLB definitely has some of that DNA from the GLK. Look at how it looks more upright when compared to the current generation GLC. So for those of you who thought the GLC was too curvaceous and preferred that old school GLK look, maybe you would consider a GLB, seeing that this kind of looks like a modern day version of the GLK. Now this particular model comes with the 19-inch multi-spoke wheels. It also has power folding mirrors. Now your wheelbase is 111 inches. Now that's not a long wheelbase. This is a relatively small car, but the capacity is amazing. We'll get to that a little bit later in the video. Taking a look at the rear of the GLB, you'll notice it has this sharp drop off, just like the GLK of a few years ago. You'll also notice you get full LED tail lamps with this new design language from Mercedes-Benz, which we've also seen in the GLE. Now, since this is an SUV, we have to talk about storage capacity and also the width of the vehicle. So the GLB is slightly narrower than the GLC. It's hard to notice. This car is 79.5 inches wide versus the GLC at 82.5 inches. But it does have a larger capacity. Why is that? Because the GLB is relatively tall for a car of its size. This car has a 7-seat capacity. This car also features the optional third row. That's an $850 option. We're gonna check out how spacious this third row is. Now, if you put all the seats down in the GLB, you'll get a 62 cubic foot capacity versus the GLC's 56.5 cubic foot capacity. We're also going to put down the second row so you guys can get a look at what the GLB interior looks like with all the rows down. Since we talked about storage capacity, I'm going to go ahead and have Isha hop in the third row and give her impressions on how the third row seating feels. Is it truly usable for daily activities? After that, we're going to go ahead and take this GLB on the road and tell you how it feels.
I have been in several SUVs with 3 rows. In this vehicle, it's definitely hidden. My first impression, the seats are very comfortable. I must admit though, it's very small and confined back here. I would recommend this for small children or just small distances. To me, in a third row, I tend to get a little claustrophobic because the seat is coming up so high. My knees are here. This is definitely not for full-grown adults back here. I am a full-grown adult, however, I'm probably not adult size. So that's why I can fit back here, but it's a vehicle. This row here is for, you know, if you have some extra passengers, sure, stick them back there. It has no trunk space when this third row is up, and I was shocked to see that as well. But as you do know, these do fold down, which do give you that normal trunk space. I'm not mad at this back row here, but is it needed? I'll leave that up to you guys.
All right, so we're behind the wheel, taking this car on the road. We're so glad to get out of the rain. We had to get our B-roll first, so excuse the rain in the B-roll. And I know we didn't get as much exterior shots as we usually do because the temperature dropped and the rain really picked up. So this is my first time behind the GLB. I'm very excited to be driving this vehicle. Just in the short distance we traveled already, I could tell it's a really nice, smooth ride.
Feels very, very nice.
Very nice, huh? So what was the first thing you noticed when you got in here, Isha?
The lights on the dash and on the door panels.
The interior illumination, the LED lighting strips.
Yeah, and then when I sat down, I noticed something was different. I said that the ratio between the seat and the windshield seemed closer. Then I said, no, maybe not. You said, no, not really. Then I said, wait, it seems taller, and then it doesn't seem much at a slant.
Right.
Reminds me of the G-Wagon.
Because remember I said when we were reviewing the exterior, this car is really tall for its size. So you kind of get that G-Wagon vibe a little bit in here. The visibility is great.
Oh, it does not look tall from the outside.
Just a little, you know, you'd have to put something next to it like a GLC and you could see that it's just a little bit taller, but the exterior really fools you because once you get inside, there's way more room than you would expect. Right.
Just like that third seat. I was like, whoa.
You didn't even know there's a third row in here, but it's here. All right, so let's talk about the power plant. So powering the GLB 250, you have a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine that puts out 221 horsepower and 258 pound-foot of torque. Now, what is remarkable to me is that engine is connected to a dual clutch transmission, and it's amazing to see a dual clutch transmission in a car that starts out at about $36,000. Dual clutch transmissions, that's a characteristic we usually see in $100,000 plus cars, such as like the AMG GTC or something along the exotic lineup, but we're starting to see it in vehicles of this caliber. So the benefit of having that dual clutch transmission is to have seamless gear shifts, because when you're in one gear, it already has the next gear pre-selected for you. So that dual clutch transmission has 2 shafts. You have your even gears on one shaft and your odd gears on the other shaft. So this is an 8-speed transmission. Gears 2, 4, 6, and 8 are on one shaft, and then you have gears 1, 3, 5, and 7 on the other. And it just allows the car to shift really smoothly and be really responsive. So in combination with that dual clutch transmission, you also have dynamic select, which allows you to change the characteristics of the car. So you have individual, sport, comfort, or an eco mode.
Or mine.
So I'll just switch it to sport mode because I love driving in sport mode in these vehicles. But overall, the ride is just really smooth. I love the feel of this car. If I had to choose between this and the GLC, I like the looks of the GLB a little bit better. It's more reminiscent of that GLK, right?
And I really, really like the GLK from back in the day. Although I didn't like boxy cars, I would have bought that one.
You would have bought this one?
Yeah, the GLK. So the simple fact that this one is more like the GLK versus the GLC, you know, I like it. I just don't need that extra third seat.
You don't need the third seat. So when you sat in the third seat, you said it was a little bit cramped, but it's something that you could use for kids on short trips, right? Yeah.
It's not for adults, not unless if you have someone like me that, you know, someone extra you're picking up.
Right.
It's small back there. I don't even really know how to get back there because I had to climb over the seat,
yeah.
Which was not okay. That's why it would be more so for kids.
Right, and if you own this car, that's something that you would figure out how to get in and out of easier. But I did notice that there are 2 USB Type-C ports in the back, which is nice. So you could charge your phones back there as well.
And another thing is that it's not bench seating back there. So it is a singular seat with a cup holder in the middle. So the seats were very comfortable, just like what we're sitting in now. It goes all the way back, so it's not like they, skimped on the back,
right.
anything like that.
And one thing I noticed about the second row of seats is that you could slide them back forward or backwards if you want to adjust how much leg room you have.
Yeah, that was nice.
That's pretty cool.
So that probably could accommodate for that third row.
That's
as
a pretty cool feature.
Yeah.
Now, talking about the interior as far as being up front, I really love how modern the interior of this GLB is.
It's not overdone. It's not too futuristic for
right.
me.
But I love these vents. You could just turn them to close them and turn them back to open them.
Aviator vents.
Yeah, they look like turbines, and they have LEDs inside the vents as well. Stop. You stop. Look how it has purple illuminated in there. That's
really
pretty
nice.
Neat.
And the purple illuminates, like I said, on the door panels.
And then the silver accents here, like this silver accent here in front of the passenger side, reminds me of the G-Class grab bar. That's really neat.
That's cool. That's why this one's probably like a smaller version of the G-Wagon.
Yeah, it could be a smaller version of the G-Wagon
I don't want the smaller version. Just give me the G-Wagon.
You want G-Wagon status. Yeah. So another major feature about the GLB, this particular one features the dual 10.25-inch displays, and it also has the MBUX system. That is the Mercedes-Benz user experience system we first saw in the GLE. So if I want to make adjustments, all I have to do is say, "Hey Mercedes,
how may I help you?
Turn the driver's side heat up to 82 degrees.
I'm setting the temperature on the driver's side to 82 degrees.
And just like that, I can make adjustments hands-free without being too distracted from the road. That's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So if you want to do features like turn on your heated seats, you can do so as well, or adjust your fan speed, you can do that as well. Say, you want to go to Starbucks or something like that, places you love to go.
Yeah.
You can set the navigation to do that as well without having to fiddle around with the screen. But if you do want to interact, you also have this touchpad here that can control this system. And you can also use the touchscreen. This is a touchscreen in this vehicle. So multiple ways of being able to control the same thing is now becoming industry standard, even in cars such as the GLB. That is pretty neat.
Yeah.
So what would be your favorite way to interact? Would you like to talk to it, touch it, or use the touchpad?
Well, in my vehicle, it is very convenient to talk to it. My hands aren't, fiddling around, but then sometimes, with any other technology, sometimes it doesn't understand what you're trying to say. So
right.
It's just great to have that option to be able to touch it as well.
Right. Other impressions, I love the way the steering wheel feels in my hands. It has nice contours in there, so your hands fit in there pretty neatly. You also have touch pads on the steering wheel if you want to control your infotainment system or your instrument cluster, which is fully configurable. So again, I love the way that everything in this car is just so easily accessible if you want to make changes. What do you think about the seats? Are they comfortable?
Yeah, they're comfortable. I think it's pretty good. We've rode in some more, but this is good. It actually has the extended leg rest, which I love.
Right.
It's not giving me that roll bar thing to keep me centered.
Right.
But
active multi-contour seating, right?
Yes.
So this isn't an S-Class, but the seats do give you a good level of comfort.
There you go. That's what I was going to say. And it does keep me planted because it does have this
side bolstering there.
Yeah. Good side bolstering. It's very spacious up here. It's enough.
It really is.
It's not overdone, and I like that. Sometimes it goes too far in some vehicles, but this is nice.
And another thing that helps with the feeling in this car, even though it has the black interior, you do have a large panoramic roof that's giving us a lot of light in this car, so it doesn't feel too compact. So I'm really amazed at how small this car appears to be from the exterior, but when you get inside, you don't feel cramped at all, as long as you're in the first and second rows, right? You're in that third row,
right?
Hopefully it's a short trip, but that third row, like I said, again, it is an option if you want to have it in this car. If you don't want to do so, just don't check that box. Another option in this car is to have the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. so you could have power distributed between the front and rear wheels respectively. We're in a standard version, so this is a front wheel drive vehicle as standard. But if you do need that 4MATIC, that is an option for you there. But overall, the ride is smooth. It's not as quiet as most Mercedes-Benz vehicles, I will say that, but it is still a quiet car. There's not a ton of road noise coming in here, but I think for the price point of this car, which starts at $36,600, I think you're getting a lot. And there are a lot of additional features that you could add to this to really customize it to meet your needs. So like I said, if you want 4MATIC, or if you want the third row, the AMG Sport package to change the exterior up a little bit, there's minor tweaks that you could do to really make this car something you can enjoy for years to come. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, you know, this car is kind of like a hidden gem. You know, it's the perfect size. If you want to add that third row, you can. You don't have to. It's upgraded. The tech features are really nice.
Tech features are really nice. I really love the tech in this car.
You know, I mean, it kind of checks all the boxes.
It really does. It really does.
What is this, a V8 again?
No. This isn't a V8 at all. This is just a straight 4. So it's an inline 4 that's been turbocharged, and it does have the dual clutch transmission, 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. This is the non-AMG variant. Now there will be an AMG variant coming out in a few months. We'll review that. I'm interested to see how the transmission interacts with that Powerplant in there, and how much more fun it will be to drive.
Right. Oh, snap. Hold on to your butt.
So that car probably will have hold on to your butt status, but this one was 0 to 60 in 6.9. This one doesn't have hold on to your butt status, but it gets you where you need to go.
Right.
The person looking for this car, you know, is probably just joining the Mercedes-Benz family, or, you know, maybe it's an older couple who are empty nesters. You know, this is something that people like that would drive. It's a fun car to drive. It's very versatile, and it gives you a lot for the money.
Okay.
So that's about it. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you're interested in this vehicle, please hit up my friend Jesse Cannon-Wallace at Atlanta Classic Cars. Please make sure you hit that notification bell so that you're subscribed and notified whenever we release new content. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next one.